Well, this is the beginning of our caravanning in Tasmania adventure. We're about to board the Spirit of Tasmania. Our car and caravan are secure in the hold of the ship for the overnight crossing of Bass Strait, while we retire in our cabin to arrive at Devonport about 6 in the morning. First stop, Anva's Chocolate Factory, a good place for breakfast before inspecting the Chocolate History Museum. Next stop, Low Head Lighthouse and Foghorn, built in 1833, protects shipping in the notorious waters of Bass Strait. The lighthouse is still assisting mariners with both its penetrating light and its almost deafening steam-driven foghorn. Tasmania has one of the highest rainfalls anywhere in the country, and as a result has an abundance of great waterfalls. As photographers, we often investigate the moss and lichen festooned walking tracks, seeking out more images of cascades to add to our collection. The sensational rainforest-like jungle and the roaring sounds of tumbling water have a kind of magnetic pull. Liffey Falls, although not well publicised, are just 15 minutes from the car park and well worth the visit. Our journey takes us across the northern part of Tasmania to the east coast, then south following the coastline. The roads are good and hug the coast with many great fishing towns dotted along the way. St Helens is not only a very active fishing port, it has also become very popular with mainland folks seeking a sea change. Our next destination is the Fresnay National Park. We're leaving our vehicle here at the car park and setting off on the Wineglass Bay lookout track. And it's a good day, so it should be good. The track is well defined and maintained, highly suited for a day walk. The last part of the walk to the lookout is fairly steep, but as a result the National Parks people have built some very nice steps here out of natural bush rock. Reputedly there's more than 300 of them, but we're nearly at the top, I hope anyhow. The lookout is a very professionally built timber structure that protrudes from the rugged hills to take advantage of the sensational Wineglass Bay views and the exposed rocky outcrops that dot the coast. On a day like this, the grandeur of nature's handiwork seems all the more spectacular. This area is not as popular with travellers as the nearby Port Arthur penal settlement, but if pristine rugged scenery and almost unlimited photogenic landscapes are what you're looking for, this has it all. This bridge at Richmond is quite famous. It's built from sandstone by convict labour, commenced construction in 1823 and took 2 years to complete. It crosses over the Coal River. Now the Coal River used to present a bit of an obstacle to the early settlers here because they were growing a lot of wheat. It was known as the granary of the colonies. But to get that wheat over to the east coast and to the ports, they needed a bridge. So this bridge was built and is now the oldest sandstone bridge in Australia, which is still in use. It's the main attraction here at Richmond. But there's a lot more to Richmond than just a bridge. The old jail and courthouse complex is now open for inspection by tourists. The conditions endured by the inmates were extraordinary, but typical of the time for which they were built. Well, this is a pretty small cell. This is the solitary cell used for the men, and they were in here sometimes as long as 25 days. Complete silence, 25 days in solitary. This is one of the more regular sized cells, punishment cell they call it. Women were often locked in here too, and they were chained. Leg irons seem brutal, but were in common use 200 years ago. The main street of Richmond offers a kaleidoscope of curiosity shops and galleries. Handcrafted goods, eateries and tempting shelves of boiled lollies and other goodies are on sale from buildings that appear unchanged since the day they were constructed. To walk the delightful main street is to be transported back to a simpler time. Heading south of Hobart, our odyssey takes us to Hastings Caves. This is one of those remarkable limestone caves that are open to the public, well lit, and offer a guided tour of the many fascinating formations hidden from the glare of sunlight. Our objective is now to go as far south as possible, so leaving our van behind, we set off, pausing along the way to take a train ride on the Ida Bay Railway. Restored to a working tourist train, the small gauge line and loco runs some 30 kilometres through scrubby country to the very end, where in a different age limestone went out by boat. The train brings us to the end of the line where the limestone which was mined back at Ida Bay was loaded here onto ships. It was taken away and converted into carbide. The last leg of our Tasmanian roaming brings us to the end of the track. Any further and we'd be in the Antarctic. This is known as Research Bay by the local. It's actually named after a French ship. Now I think it's pronounced Recherche, but I'm not very good at French. They came in here in 1792. Today is a nice place to come, and as I said, about as far south as we can go in Tasmania.